getting around to doing the Q&A that I posted on my Instagram I feel like it was a couple weeks ago. I was slacking because we had me, but we can do it while I do my lashes because I'm supposed to be going out tonight with my cousin that came in from overseas. By my count, I got 18 questions. So we can either do it till the 18 questions run out, or I can finish my lashes first. So I'm using these lashes. I usually do 216s, 214s, 12, 10, and 8, but I can do 316s, 214s, 2 12s, and 10 and see what I come up. Okay, I just placed the first two. I don't know if you could tell from there. I don't know, but the first question is how old am I? Yeah, I am 22 years old. I was born on October 14, 2002. I believe it was a Monday at like 12 something. I could be wrong about the time, but I know it was a Monday. My sign is Libra, which is the one that's the balance. My favorite color, contrary to popular belief, it is not pink, it's purple. I mean, I do own a lot of pink things, and that is because I like pink, but purple is my favorite color. My nationality / ethnicity, I am a Barbadian. I don't know why people keep saying, oh, you don't look a Bajan. I don't know how Bajans look. Let me start. But I was born here, but from my father's side, I have some Guyanese, so half and half. If I used to play any sports, I used to play netball, both for my secondary school and with a club called Unity Stars, and I went to Alexandria, so I did netball at school too. I also did karate. I think that was from like second to first or third form, somewhere around there. And I was doing netball from second to, well, the school is in second to fourth, and then I was playing club afterwards. Was I don't remember, but when I was playing netball, I got injured and I went to the doctor, and they told me that if I continued to play that I would need surgery. So then that's when I stopped playing netball. I also ran cross country. I was in like, I think I was in second third farm, when you had to do like the long distance races up by sports council. I placed another 2. I don't know if you could tell from there, but the next question is basically what I do for a living. So I am a student, a second year student at the University of the West Indies Cape Hill campus. I study chemistry, and I also do brand rep work. And somebody was asking me how I got into the promotional work. So what I would say is, to get into the community is a bit tough because a lot of people come into it thinking it's an easy job and they can make quick money, and then they don't usually represent the brands properly, which is why I am very careful about who I recommend when they are like aims for the community. But me personally, I never went through the whole process of reaching out to a company and saying I was interested. It was actually the other way around, and that was with Rude Boy Barbados. They messaged me, I think this would have been like a year and some ago now. They messaged me asking me if I was interested in representing the brand, saying they basically did like the content that I post or whatever, and they let me to represent the brand. And I was like, obviously I was a bit skeptical because I would never did promotional work before. I wasn't sure if it was like, you know, a scam or anything like that. But then when I met with the man who is in charge of at that point in time, he was in charge of the tonic wings. We talked it over, basically talked about what would be required of me, and if I was still interested, I said yes, and then I started up. Obviously, once you're in the industry, it's a lot easier because, you know, other companies will be like, well, I see such and such girl representing this brand, I wonder if she could represent my brand, and ask a question, and then that's how you get, you know, networking. Once you go and you do the job properly, people recognize you. But yeah, that's basically it. For the other ones, yes, there is a bit more of like a formal process you go through in terms of applying, but at the end of the day, people look for people that are going to be kind to the customers and know how to manage situations well, because sometimes you will have situations where men say things and do things that they probably shouldn't, and you have to diffuse the situation in a way where you don't make yourself or the brand look bad in the process. I finished one eye. Next question is how to get into content creation. Honestly, I was already just documenting things that I did, and I decided to try to take it a little bit more seriously, and I started my whole like the gym series. And I don't know, I just generally enjoy documenting memories that go on in my life and posting them on social media, because especially the gym, I realized that sometimes people just need to see people in a similar position to them doing stuff that they wanted to do but weren't sure if they'd be able to do it. So for example, like a lot of people think that because of their workload with UE and then people that work and go to school, they think they just don't have time for the gym or time to put any effort into their physical appearance or plan out the health of their meals before they eat. They just eat to not starve and not really to think about fueling their body. And I realized that once I started my gym content, a lot of people came up to me saying how I motivated them to start and like encouraging me to continue and things along that line, telling me that I'm doing a good job, etc. And honestly, that makes me feel really good, because I was to a point where I didn't think that I would be able to reach my personal body goals or health goals while still putting my best foot forward in the academic sense. Somebody was asking me how many tattoos I have. I feel like y'all ask this question a lot, and usually it changes, but I don't think that that number has changed in a little while. I think my most recent tattoo is this one that I got with my mom that says prayer about it, but in total I have 15, but they're small. The biggest one is probably the rose on my arm and the one on my back. I feel like y'all probably saying I'm really doing the lashes that y'all can see, but I can't really get close to the mirror to see what I'm doing and still be in the frame with the camera properly, so we can just, y'all can see the progress. The next question is about my mental health. I have my days, life happens, but I am actively putting in the effort to do things that make me happy when there's a lot going on, instead of getting overwhelmed and isolating, because that's what I used to do as a coping mechanism, which usually drove me further down the hole. Is exam time and stuff for UE, so that's on my mind, but I only have 2 exams this semester, so it should be okay. Some new glue on my face, but yeah, that's it. Here's what it's looking like, and I got a few more questions to answer. Here at fast food place, what I realized is that a lot of the meals that we get are proportioned the wrong way. They have more carbs than protein, and I'm trying to increase my protein. So I don't really eat out like that, but if I had to pick a place, it'd probably be Soul Bites, and it'd be for the tacos, the chicken tacos on the soft shell. What else? My height, I'm 5'5". That's me really having a kid. I don't know why my friends keep pushing this baby talk on me. I will have a kid when I am financially stable enough to handle a kid. First, I want to do some traveling before I have a child, so I don't really want to put age on it. Just when I get to that point in my life, then yeah. And then the last question is if I am single or not. To be honest, it's none of y'all business. If I'm being real, like, I don't see the need in coming on here and telling y'all if I'm single or not, because what is it going to change? If I got a man, me and he's secured. If I don't, and you don't know, you're trying to talk to me, is you probably don't know because I don't want you to know. So anyways, yeah, I still recovering from a cold, but I think that's basically it. Oh, ask about my life goals. I want to experience different cultures and learn a few languages. I know like the basic level of Spanish and French, but I would like to learn some other stuff. I want to model for a big brand at least once. Not really sure if I want to continue like to live the rest of my life in Barbados or if I'm planning to move, but I would like to build a home here. Even if I do decide to go overseas, I would like to build a house here, so I would like to buy land and build a house. When I do have kids, I okay with like 2 or 3, and my goal is to make sure that I break the cycle of, you know, like passing down trauma onto children and that sort of stuff. Make sure that my children are, I don't want to say spoiled, but I will give my children what they want. Just I want them to also understand how I came into, you know, the possession of things, like showing them the value of a dollar and showing them how hard work pays off, etc. But yeah, that's basically it. I feel like I talked enough. My lashes are done, so I'm about to go on to the next video.